In need of an Amazonian without the articulation? Here's a look at the McFarlane Toys. McFarlane Toys Digital Jim Lee Wonder Woman statue. Raised on the hidden island of Themyscira, Princess Diana is an Amazon and her people's gift to humanity. As Themyscira's emissary to man's world, Diana has made it her duty to lead by example. She has come to represent the possibility and potential of life without war, hate, and violence, and she's a beacon of hope to all those who find themselves in need. Just before Diana does her thing, I'm going to do my thing and take the tape measure and see how tall the statue of Wonder Woman actually stands. I'd actually grabbed this statue from Entertainment Earth. Unfortunately, though, at the time that I ordered it was during the Canadian postal strike, so I had to wait a couple of weeks to get it. Finally, though, having it in hand, and she's just as good as she looked as online. She's got one little issue, though, and that's kind of a big problem with this statue. We're going to talk more about that in a moment. In the meantime, though, Wonder Woman's going to stand at 10 inches in height, or 25 centimeters tall. I have another statue I think that's going to look rather nice on the shelf along with Diana. Here's what she looks like with the McFarlane Toys Batman statue. This is actually one of the two different statues we've looked at on the channel. The other one was all done in black. Size-wise, though, I think Diana scales pretty well with Bruce. I think that both of them looking on the shelf, I don't think one would look really out of scale when you have it displayed with the other. Along with her display stand, Diana does come included with two cards. The first one, though, being the McFarlane Toys digital card. I haven't actually yet scratched this. Simply all you have to do is go to www.mtd.gg and then just provide the digital code that I'm about to provide you guys now. Just reaching off to the side here, I got myself my little clippers here. We're just going to use the end of this. I'm going to scratch away the scratch section. Do bear with me, by the way. How's everybody's day going, by the way? Okay, I know, get to finishing scratching this. Yeah, scratching across this, making sure I've got everything revealed here. It's taking a lot longer than I was expecting. Okay, we're arriving near the end of this. Okay, there we go. There we go. If you want to provide, if I can provide to you, if you guys want to enter this into the website, you can redeem that. Now, granted, it's only going to be one redemption code per person, so if you've already beaten everybody else to it, you don't have to tell us down below. The one thing also that Diana does come included with, I got all these scratchings all over my fingers. She does also come included with a Jim Lee inspired trading card. I really like the look of that. Now, the one thing, though, that the card has that the statue doesn't is that she has notably a cape. I don't think it really needs a cape. I generally like my Wonder Woman without capes personally, but it's a nice looking card nonetheless. On the back of the card, it's the same read-up that I read at the beginning of this review. Her real name is Diana, and then this paragraph read, I've already saved you guys the trouble. I said it again at the beginning of this review. Usually when it comes to displaying like the digital, McFarlane Toys digital releases, I tend to like to put them in the same sleeves as all the other digital exclusives, just because, again, it's got always usually the same type of border. Let's move this off to the side. So here's one issue right away that I have with Diana. It's not that it's a bad-looking statue at all. My biggest problem with it is the way that she stands onto the display stand. The way that you take the figure, and I'm just going to take her off her stand for right now. Does she stand on her own? Realistically, she does. So if you already have the issue that I'm about to say, you can really just do away with that problem altogether and just take the display stand off. The stand, by the way, is the same one that we got with Batman or Bruce Wayne. The only thing that was different, though, was that Batman's display stand, he actually had a metal post that plugged into the center of it. Diana's, though, has a peg that's off to the far corner. It still has, though, McFarlane Toys digital along the bottom of it. That's not an issue at all. I do like the stand, but here's one of the biggest issues that have this problem facing this figure, facing the statue, is the way that she attaches onto the display base. You may not have already noticed it, but you'll see right now, when you take her, for example, she does only, first of all, have one hole on the bottom of only one heel. So it's not like you can choose for yourself which way you want to have her displayed. You may also notice, too, that only one of her feet is completely flat. The other one is on an awkward angle. And this is where the problem lies. So if you take the statue of Diana and you attach her onto the provided post, first of all, I noticed, though, when I was trying to put her on the post, it does feel like the plastic is cracking. I don't think it's so much cracking. The post is actually only put in through a hole here. And I think when I'm putting pressure against that, in the process, I'm probably actually pushing this out the bottom. But when you do put her down here, you can see that her foot is still flat, but the one that's angled is now leaving a space below it. I'm sure this may be a fix where I may be able to heat the statue up, or it might even be a simpler fix of probably adding just a little adhesive, maybe at the front of her foot, where I can actually stick that maybe to the display base. But unfortunately, I mean, right out of the packaging, and I've had the statue maybe out of the box for maybe about an hour or so, it hasn't fixed the problem at all, and I think the problem's still going to continue. I mean, I don't know why they just wouldn't have not had the foot flat. If you had 2 flat feet, you wouldn't have certainly had a space between one foot and the base. So let's go ahead and just take her off the display base right now. Careful, careful. Just put that off to the side. Getting, though, a closer look at Jim Lee's Wonder Woman. Beautiful, beautiful Diana. I think the head sculpt is really quite good. Maybe I would say like the skin tone is a little too fair. I mean, it's a little on the lighter side, but I mean, I've seen Wonder Woman often appear in the comics with light skin. I mean, like if you even really just look at the comic or the actual trading card, I mean, she's a fairly fair-skinned warrior anyways. I don't think it's that far different really from the statue that we're actually getting. I just feel maybe like her skin could have been just a tad bit darker. The one thing I do really like is that they've added some blue highlights to her hair. So instead of just going the route of black, the blue gives a little bit of nice contrasting colors. The face is quite pretty. I do like the tiara, and I think the eyes are really painted well. I mean, for such a small detail like this, eyes can get messy real fast, but I think the talented team behind the scenes at McFarlane Toys have done a nice job painting her face. The paint continues well here too. If you look at down below, she's got the more modern take to Wonder Woman's suit. So the bodice here on the top is done here in a metallic cranberry red. Some gold accents on the top for the W, gold accents down below here as well, and the gold is paneled all nicely around the blue skirting here. She does also have, of course, the lasso of truth in one hand. The thing that I do like about it, though, is that the lasso starts over here and it wraps around her body. Oh, where are you going? Right over here. You can see that it wraps around her body. The thing about it, though, is that it's kind of a weird way they've designed this, because if you're looking at it, there seems to be almost like 2 lassos going on. So she's got one here. So if you follow along the lines, right, it goes all the way around and it goes to the other side. Well, all of a sudden now, where's this other lasso coming from? My only real guess is that it's so long of a lasso that it's still enough to have excess here attached to the back of her body. But then it still comes around. There's a lot of it still built up around her hand, and still manages. There's still enough more to go around the top of her hand here. It's a weird optical illusion, because you're looking at that and you're thinking, well, wait a minute. We've got 2 lassos. It does actually seem like it's one lasso. It's just there's a whole lot of it. It's a softer plastic too, so there's a little bit of give. She also has a shield there on the back of her body. I do wish, though, this is the one area that feels like it doesn't have nearly enough paint to it. It's a lot more silver, and there's not nearly enough of other colors going in there as well. Had to add a darker wash or even just like some contrasting colors. I get, though, that it's a metallic shield. But I do get the idea that they could have also added a little bit of color there too, because it does seem like one coat of paint of silver has been added to it, and it really did need something else with it. I do like the pose of Wonder Woman here, and I think overall it's just a great looking statue. This would be one that, even released in resin, I would want to pick up just from the sculpting alone. The only one thing, again, that problems this figure, this statue, is the way, again, she attaches onto the display base. The peg works fine and good to attach to the bottom of one of her heels, but being that they've deliberately given her an arched foot like this on the one side, she almost seems to work better without the display stand. If you leave her off, she stands fine. It's not a case where I need this stand specifically to give her stability. Diana seems to stand fine on her own. I mean, if you do want to have the consistent look of having all your McFarlane Toys digital statues displayed, like my Batman has to have the display stand because that's the only way he's going to stand properly. Wonder Woman, though, if you want to kind of follow that same trend, the display stand is still there. The problem with it, though, is, as you already saw in this review, she sort of teeters and totters, but she doesn't stand securely against it. Now, I suppose in preparation of this review, I could have tried to heat the body of Wonder Woman maybe with a hairdryer, and had I just held her against the display stand, eventually maybe I would arrive with her feet being flat against the display base. But I did want to keep the way that she is out of the packaging, not alter it in any way to show you guys the problems that I have with the statue, so that when you get it for yourself, this statue, you're not going to say to me, well, hey, mine had an issue where she wasn't attached properly to display base. I don't want to be the guy that says, well, I did fix mine prior to hitting record. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. The one thing, though, I like about the Wonder Woman here is the price is generally low. I did order this again from Entertainment Earth. $49.99 was the price of what the Jim Lee Wonder Woman statue was. And I think for her size, I think for her sculpt, and I think for her paint, a $49.99 statue isn't bad at all. She's a pretty looking likeness of Wonder Woman. And I think if you're going to base anything from an art style in the comics, Jim Lee's the best guy to go with. He's been drawing Wonder Woman and the rest of the league for that matter for years now. And I think he's really one of the best examples if you're going to inspire a statue from, if anything, from Jim Lee's work. Again, I did order this one from Entertainment Earth as it is right now. She is still in stock. And if you guys are interested, you can click the link down below in the video description. By the way, though, that is also an affiliate link. So clicking that not only will take you directly to Diana, but you can also use that same link to knock off 10% on anything that's currently in stock. It means that even if your jam isn't Wonder Woman, but your jam is also collecting other collectibles and statues and figures, you can use the affiliate link and save 10% on anything, providing, of course, it's in stock. Anything that's in stock at Entertainment Earth. What do you guys think of Wonder Woman? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you have picked up this statue, let me know if you fixed the issue with the foot, or if you just chose to either have her on the display stand slightly wobbling, or just chose to have the display stand off altogether. If you guys did also enjoy this video, you can do it a slow and throw it a like. You guys want to stick around for more so? I hope so. You can hit that subscribe, you can turn on that bell, and of course, the biggest thing is you can always come back. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.